I'm gonna share with you a unique, if not super weird combination of flavors. It's sweet and hot, or a sweet and peppery dish that will really surprise you at how good it is. It's a modern take of a Yerushalmi Kugel by Micah Wexler, the notable chef of Wexler's Deli here in LA. It's a dish that's sweet, spicy, and completely its own thing. Now, I first tried it years ago while filming Micah making the kugel, one of my first food videos I ever made, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And since it's the Jewish New Year soon, it's the perfect time to share this really cool side dish or dessert for the holidays. And Jewish or not, and I know kugel is a fun word to say, I say we make it. Let's get started. Oh, and super important, this recipe is for a 10-inch springform pan. I think that's super important to point out at the beginning of the recipe because I find that sometimes recipes online gloss over that small detail. And in the description, I'll make notes if you have a 12-inch one, and of course, you can use a bundt pan too. It just might be a little tougher to get out. Let's start with a pot of boiling water, and we're going to make some pasta, about a pound or 450 grams of angel hair. Let it boil according to the instructions, which is 4 to 6 minutes. It's super quick, but I'm going to pull it out on the earlier side because it's going to bake for almost over an hour and you don't want them to overcook. For those that don't know, kugel is a Jewish casserole dish that's mainly a sweet food made of egg noodles with milk or raisins and cinnamon, kind of like a bread pudding, and there are savory versions as well, like a potato kugel with onions. But Jerusalem, or Yerushalmi Kugel, is a 19th century Lithuanian Jewish mad creation that takes thin noodles coated in caramelized sugar and plenty of fresh black pepper, baked into a sliceable cake. So it's both a sweet variety with sides of savory. It's basically like the Luke Skywalker of kugels. So yeah, I know it sounds weird, but it's worth trying, Jewish or not. While the noodles boil, I'm going to prep my springform pan. This will make removing the kugel much easier. You can use baking spray or some ghee and just run it around the sides and bottom a few times. I just like getting this ready ahead of time, and also I'm preheating my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that the noodles are done, drain the pot into a strainer and add a little oil, maybe a quarter of a cup at most. It helps the noodle not clump together. Give that a little mix so that the oil covers the noodles. If you can, put it into a heat-proof bowl or back into the pot you cooked it in. Toss with a little more oil if you feel the need and set it aside. I'm going to crack open 8 eggs into a large measuring cup and whisk it to make sure I've popped all the yolks. Be thorough with your mixing. And I'm adding the pepper mixture. It's about 2 to 3 tablespoons of freshly ground black pepper. You can hand crank this if you want, but I just blitzed this in the NutriBullet. And I'm including some Szechuan peppercorns in the mix to add more depth and heat. I may live to regret it, or at least my kids might be really annoyed with me. Just make sure the pepper is freshly ground. It's more pungent and flavorful. And yes, it is a lot of pepper, but that's what makes this kugel so different. Now, make sure the eggs and pepper are nicely whisked together. Some recipes will have you do the caramel and then the eggs, but the caramel is an all hands on deck situation, and for simplicity, I want everything ready. Now the caramel. Take 3/4 of a cup or 170 grams of ghee. We're going to let that melt down a bit and build up some heat. I think the chef picked ghee because of its earthiness, high smoke point, and I think it adds a little fanciness to the dish. But it is a great fat to use. If you want to make it dairy-free, you can always use vegetable oil. To the warm ghee, I'm adding 350 grams or about 1.5 cups of turbinado sugar. Stir it together over medium heat until it melts into a glossy caramel. It may start to smoke at some points. Just be sure to keep mixing it and moving it around. You can use regular white sugar, but this slightly brown cane sugar has another added dimension that I think the chef wanted to take advantage of without the messiness of using brown sugar. You have a less of a chance of burning the caramel with turbinado sugar, and you still get all the benefits of the slight molasses flavor. We have to keep an eye on it because this can burn easily. There are a few stages to this caramel, and I'm going to be honest with you, I already filmed this once before while transferring my camera to set up the next shot. The caramel erupted all over my stove, and well, let's take a look at how that went. Oh, shit. Whoa, fuck. Good news, it only took me 30 minutes to clean my kitchen, and I got this awesome caramel candy out of it. But anyway, the first stage is a wet sand look. Then the second stage, that will break down, it'll turn into a completely syrupy and glossy caramel. Then we move on to the third stage, and it'll start to bubble and foam. And as you mix it, you're going to start seeing pockets of this creamy caramel forming. Now you know that you are ready. Keep stirring it and watch it form together. Once it does, take it off the heat immediately and keep stirring it and get it into the bowl as quickly as possible. I'm not kidding. I'm not sure if you could tell, but it was still rising as I took it off the heat and brought it to the bowl. So don't set it back down. That's why getting everything ready is essential. This version is not overly sweet, but if you're going for a more dessert angle or just like sweeter foods, I would suggest a half a cup of powdered sugar so it dissolves easily into the mix. Some other recipes use a lot of sugar, but like I said, this recipe is more modern and subtly sweet. Then, with the noodles slightly cooled a bit, I'm adding the egg mixture. Let's not pretend that these are still pretty warm, okay? I'm adding eggs to it, so I'm working quickly to mix this up so that the eggs are evenly distributed throughout the noodles and not just pooling onto the sides. Then, I add it into the springform pan. Take a spatula and smooth out the top, and I'm popping it into an oven for 75 minutes at 350 degrees, and then once it's done, I will test it, but I'm going to turn off the heat and I'll let it rest in the oven for another 20 minutes to ensure that everything is cooked through. Traditionally, it is left on a really low heat to cook throughout the night for the Sabbath morning or lunch. Also, don't worry about the hot caramel solidifying. It's just candy, and with a little hot water, it comes right off. Now that it's ready, you should be left with a very darn rich caramelized kugel with crispy and crunchy dark edges. The best part, if you ask me, with a softer, chewy inside. All right, let's bite into it. It's, oh, it's so caramelly. Gosh. It's crunchy on the outside a little bit and sweet. You don't really taste the pepper. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. No, there it is. Okay. That warmth of the pepper comes in afterwards. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Ooh, and the Szechuan pepper is a nice kick. Whoa. Ooh. Might have to brush my teeth after this. Ooh, okay. So, traditionally, it's sliced like a cake, and it's served with pickle. Well, I mean, that's what Google suggested because, I don't know, I guess it doesn't get any more Jewish than that. But I don't trust everything Google tells me, so. Oh yeah, okay. I stand corrected. That's really good. These are my homemade pickles, description below. But what a great combination. Spicy, this is sharp, this is great contrast. And this is great contrast. Thanks for letting me share this really cool dish with you. To all my friends and family, and to all my new friends out there, have a safe, healthy, and happy New Year. Chag Sameach.